Welcome to Ball Talk Deep, where we talk deep about balls. And Jordan Irwin back at it again. Don't forget to drop a like, a sub, and a comment at the end of the video. We post 5+ times a week. And
Hey man,
what
look,
I say, what I say.
it's still too early, but I would tell you this.
We ain't seen a fucking whoop ass in this whole series like this. 106-92.
Hey, look.
106-92.
Look,
Double digits.
I'll tell you this, man. Last year, and I said this before, last year we had the down 3-1 Nuggets that you don't fuck with until they ran into the fucking Lakers. And this year we have the don't fuck with the down 0-2 Clippers. But the same thing of what happened to the Nuggets last year in the conference finals. The bill stops over here.
Streak ends here.
Now, however, I'll give this to the Clippers. Hey, they played well. The Suns obviously didn't look so well. Both teams definitely did not shoot it well.
No.
I'll tell you that. But at the end of the day, Clippers fans, you guys are gonna tell me in the comments or whatever. A W is a W, and that's what the Clippers got.
Hell yeah. And shout out. Let's start with Paul George, because he was the talk of the town, the talk of the fucking internet.
If you get lost, call PG-13.
I'll put that graphic.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tyler the Creator, man. I don't know, it's way too early, but if you heard that album when it dropped, you heard it too, right?
I heard a couple of the songs.
Pretty
It's
dope. Pretty
damn good.
dope.
The one
He's
that
back on his rap shit.
The one that he has Lil Wayne as a feature, that was probably the best song in the album, in my opinion. That's pretty damn good.
And all right, PG, man, also back on his shit, telling the whole world with his display of game that, hey, I'm over it. And also, before this game started, I had heard, I forgot who was talking about it, but they had said that they had already talked to Ty Lue or someone on the team, that Ty talked to PG as soon as game 2 ended and just told him, like, forget about it, don't stress about it, like, really got into his psyche and, like, wanted him to get back on his mental shit ASAP. And because that goes a long way in sports. It goes a lot. Some people especially fans, underrate it, but, like, it goes a long way.
I mean, if you look at the stats, yeah, I mean, you'll be saying, like, oh, okay, this guy dropped, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, but either way, the graphics right over here, guys, 27, 11, and 6, right?
15 rebounds and 8 assists.
Okay,
But
I was wrong with that.
Some people are gonna call out. He was 3 from 11 from the floor, from the 3-point line.
That's what I was gonna say.
And 9 from 26 from field goal.
He shot horrible.
Yeah, but
and he had 6 turnovers as well.
He did have 6 turnovers, but he made 6 out of 7 free throws.
Okay, that's good. That's a good start.
Exactly, and he was a plus 23 on the floor, which that plus 23 goes to show, which is what everybody's been seeing. This guy is holding it down. He is the Chris Paul of this team. He is steering this ship, and he is keeping this ship afloat, even when he's not on his scoring game.
Even though I would say this, I know you're going to bring up Terrence Mann, but Reggie Jackson, who looks like Bobby Shmurda, saved his ass,
He brought
night.
in 23 points plus 12 on the floor.
But it's like what I tell you guys, man. During home court, y'all like say, oh, home court's not that big of a deal, but it's been proven time after time again.
And especially with fans back.
Role players step up. They play better when they're at the home in their home arena. There's something about that, and you're clearly seeing that right now.
Speaking of players, Zubac was, especially in the first quarter, getting mad free throws, and he scored 9 from 10 from the free throw line, 3 of 8 from field goals. But he was a plus 28 on the floor with 16 rebounds, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 1 assist, totaling 15 points. And then Terrence Mann, 6 from 8 from field goal. And he scored 12 points plus 17 on the floor with 5 rebounds, 2 assists. And the reason Irwin brought up Terrence Mann is because in the earlier videos I said, watch out, especially after in the last series when he had that crazy game.
Game 6.
I was like, watch out for Mann. He's gonna be one of those role players that I wasn't saying that he was gonna do that again, but he's gonna step up and have more of a role on this team. And the reason I had the Clippers in this series and even in the series before is, hey, even with no Kawhi, as long as PG steps up, Kawhi still has to return though. I'm still like that. That's still part of my
here's what
the role players got to step up on the Clippers team, and that's what they've been doing. I feel like this Clippers team has reached the balance of the Clippers that they were before Kawhi and PG got there, which was that rough and hustle team that surprised everybody.
Defensively, they're right there.
Everybody was expecting to be there last year with the addition of Kawhi and PG's offense, and obviously that didn't really play out the way they wanted. And this year, I feel like, okay, after last year's fat ass L, and still having some of those members from that team. I feel like they reached that balance, and we're watching it right now.
Look, I will tell you this: the Suns, they're probably hoping that Kawhi doesn't come back, and Clippers fans, I would hope. The only thing I'll be worried about Kawhi is not necessarily the potential how severe the injury is. It's just the fact of Kawhi is a superstar. You saw with the Spurs that he had an injury. He felt like he was misdiagnosed, and he came back when he felt like he was going to be healthy. And I have the feeling, I might be wrong over here, that Kawhi's feeling the same type of way right now. That's why he's so damn quiet. That he's not going to come back. When the Clippers want him to come back, or the doctors say come back, is whenever he feels that, hey, no, it's going to be my way, whenever I'm feeling healthy. And the Clippers are not going to push him, man. They're not going to be like, yo, Kawhi, get your ass out there to the floor.
True. But I do think and hope that Kawhi does realize, I'm assuming that this is the year for the Clippers.
This is not okay.
And I've heard that he's been on FaceTime and calls with the team this entire time, and he was at yesterday's game. And as long as Kawhi, when they go back to Phoenix too, if he keeps showing up and shows support from the sidelines,
the best way I think
that'll go a long way.
Yeah, what's gonna go a long way is him showing support by actually getting on the court.
No, of course.
And playing. I'm like, that's cute and all when he's only gonna sweep, bro. I'm like, shit, anybody can do that, man.
No, of course.
They're gonna need his ass on the court.
But it goes a long way when you actually feel that morale support from your teammate.
I'll feel support when he's on the court.
Although what helped LA yesterday, let's be honest, was that Chris Paul and Devin Booker were way off. 519 for CP and 521 for Booker from field goal. 2 for 7 from the 3 for CP and 1 of 7 for Booker.
Now, for CP3, obviously,
Ayton did put up a good game.
He had a great game.
You know what yesterday told me about Ayton? While he is definitely a star player,
I wouldn't say a star.
He's not. I think he'll be a star. No. He's not a superstar where, at least not yet, obviously, but I don't expect him to be, period. That'll help carry a team.
I'll tell you this.
Because yesterday could have been his moment to shine.
Because I'll tell you this. As of last year, Suns fans, people for the Suns, they weren't even sure they were going to keep Ayton.
He surprised everybody.
Hey, is he going to be, because he was the number 1 pick. I'm not going to say bust, but he's going to be like, are we going to pay this man? The answer would have been no last year. But this year, he proved he's very important to being about that.
He's having his Bam year like Bam had last year.
Somewhat, yeah, in the playoffs. But with CP3, obviously the guy was a little bit rusty, coming back from 2 weeks off, 2.5 weeks off. Devin Booker, that Rip Hamilton mask going on.
He shouted Rip too. He contacted or something. Saw a tweet about it.
That is not an easy thing. The man's playing with a broken nose. He has that mask on, pretty much for the whole game. You can't sleep on that.
When I read about that broken nose at the end of last game, being confirmed, I was like,
so obviously he wasn't comfortable with that.
That's just weird. Think about it, guys. He's a baller, but you just feel it. And I've never had a broken nose, but I'm sure
and not necessarily how it feels, but I could imagine what's his sight line. Looking at how
to an extent,
that. So that probably affected him as well.
Players ball out. LeBron, Kyrie.
Yeah, but those are other specimens.
Hamilton.
Well, yeah, Booker's another specimen as well. But I think he'll be able to get used to it, to be able to have a much better game. I am a little bit concerned as well about Payne. He wasn't able to come back. In the
reasonable fashion.
Yeah, in the game. No, he was out for the rest of the game when he got injured.
Yeah,
he only played 4 minutes and then he was out.
Literally 4 minutes.
Yeah, they're gonna miss him. Hopefully he's not out for too long. But Andrade,
LA don't got Kawhi, man. What were you gonna say?
No, what I was saying, does this change your prediction at all? No. It's still gonna be Clippers in 7?
No. Oh yeah. You think I'm gonna say Clippers in 6?
I don't know, man. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm not sleeping on these Suns no more. I ain't sleeping on the Hawks anymore either. Yeah, okay. But I do want to say, people are always whenever a player comes back, it's gonna change the series. CP3 when he comes back, they said the same thing with Conley with the Jazz, and it's I feel like people forget. And I always point this out. Most of the times, so there are some times where it does happen, but most of the times the players have to get their foot, their legs under their I forgot how to word it. You know what I'm talking about though?
Yeah, I guess they gotta get their sea legs under them.
There you go. They gotta get into the rhythm, their flow, and Yeah, like it takes a while. Some like most of the times, and happened with Conley. Like he came back for that Jazz game, he didn't perform like people expected him to. CP3 right now, like don't just expect when a player comes back from me. I don't expect it from Kawhi. Although Kawhi, I think might fall on the latter side, meaning like the less likely side, just because he is a different fucking beast.
Yeah.
And like Erwin says, he does wait a little longer. Although I had heard CP3 wasn't injured, he was just off the COVID protocol.
He wasn't injured.
And he was just waiting. But hey, he was a little rusty, and hopefully he's
look,
still a little rusty in Game 4.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think the Suns are gonna come back hard after this game, but I think the Clippers right now have a good headset, and
the Suns, both teams are gonna shoot better.
Yeah.
The Suns are gonna come out a lot harder, but don't expect us to open up because the Clippers, I think, okay, for the whole series they're gonna bring it at least 100%, 110% defensive.
Game 4, I expect both these teams to come out swinging. Like
they were, it was
both of them. Usually it's like one team or the other comes out swinging from like the first quarter in the next game, but now I think Suns are going to do it because they're trying to come back from this to get that 3-1 lead. And then Clippers are going to come back just because, one, it's their home court for Game 4. And two, they're just in a position where they have to. And I'm pretty sure Ty has this I can't think of it right now. They brought it up on another show. But he has this crazy record of, like, he is one of the best coaches in modern times to, like, come back from behind or 0-2. Some shit like that. And I was like,
that's credit to... That's credit
better than having Doc when he was a Clippers coach.
What? Yeah, I mean, one's at home.
Saw what he did with Sixers, yeah.
One's at home and one is not. And people sleep on Lou because, you know, they give him shit like, hey, he wasn't able to get the Cavs past, you know, the Warriors when they had KD. I'm like, nobody's getting past them.
That's true.
Except unless they get injured. But either way, guys, let us know in the comments what you guys think. Clippers fans, you guys think are going to be able to come back?
Quick thing. Are you guys interested in us covering the U.S. men's basketball team? We're still leaning on doing it, but I just want to reach out and see like what's the feel out there for general public, all the viewers that have made it this far, U.S. basketball teams, any other Olympic sports team. We won't do specific videos, but we'll touch on it because I am gonna watch other sports. I think you too. And also, what series do you like more so far? Like obviously the East one is still more behind in terms of games, but like, do you like this one more, or do you like the Bucks and Hawks more? Because I'm actually interested to see what people are feeling.
Of course. And Suns fans, what do y'all think, man? You guys think you're gonna come back and like not come back at the series, but obviously go up 3-1.
It ain't this no more. I'm just saying.
But we'd love to hear either way, guys. Appreciate all the love and the hate. You guys already know. Catch us on Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and all podcast streaming platforms. We'll catch you guys soon. For now,
take care.